Okay, guys, welcome to CrawlQ Copywriting Mastery. This is really important that we cover the foundation in detail before we jump into how to's and exact mechanism of CrawlQ. Because without understanding this framework, it will be very difficult to understand and appreciate the sort of grill inside CrawlQ. Okay, so you need to really have patience and work together with me and try to really understand the main foundation of CrawlQ copywriting framework. So this CrawlQ copywriting framework is really powerful, is compelling, and is universal. And the copywriting skills that will make you really killer product design engineer, CMO, or sales marketing tech leader. You can really become a highly paid growth consultant by following this framework. And I'm going to cover in detail. It's not that I have invented this framework, but I have assembled this framework following from different sort of authoritative references. So this framework is really compelling, I can assure you. The biggest problem is that copy and websites are not working and not making sales. It is because your sales letter is off, your landing page is off, your message is not resonating, right? Marketing and sales argument do not resonate with your target audience and your product. They are not making a connection with your target audience and the product. So CrawlQ copywriting framework that is assembled here is heavily drawn from using Schwartz breakthrough advertising. Now, you ask any marketer out there or copywriters who are familiar with this, using Schwartz, his book Breakthrough Advertising is sort of gold standard in copywriting domain. Dan Kennedy's The Ultimate Sales Letter Framework, and David Ogilvy on advertising. You search it, you will find it that these authors and their books is the ultimate go-to reference on copywriting. And what I did here is just I assembled the whole framework and implemented this framework inside CrawlQ. My favorite is Jim Edwards and Russell Brunson's copywriting secret. And that's why this framework is very useful and foundational. It's compelling. It's also universal that you can use this in your blog post, sales letter, micro content, macro content, outbound emails, ads, landing pages, blog videos. It's universal, right? You can build sort of social media post. It can really help you build sales and marketing arguments, and using the insights and stories and answers that will be generated using AI, and everything working sort of behind that AI is this sort of solid and robust and foundational framework. So this really key to understand, and we are going to cover in quite detail about this framework. But the most important that you guys understand that CrawlQ is not just an AI software, that is also powered with one of the most robust sort of and compelling and universal framework that is assembled from the golden sources. Okay. So guys, before I really go into detail, I really want to again reiterate who is this for? Who is this for? Really, this is really important. So CrawlQ is dedicated to solving the problem of product design engineers, product managers, CTOs, SaaS CMOs, sales and marketing technology leaders who want to take their game of content creation, product idea validation to the next level. Okay, so guys, this is really important that you understand the right fit and the right target audience for this exercise. And I must reiterate it because without this understanding, it will be very difficult to appreciate the detailed framework and the steps that we are going to take and the exact mechanism and how to. Okay, so again, this is really important that this framework is specially designed for product design engineers, product managers, CTOs, SaaS CMOs, sales and marketing technology leaders. Okay, so guys, let's jump to this framework. Okay, the first thing first, I really want to touch upon this, and this is the foundation. how to write a winning headline that no one has even written before. Okay, so this is key to understand. As a copywriter, when you are, of course, product design engineer, but when you are into the shoes of the copywriter, your job is not to just create a copy, but to direct and channel a mass desire. Okay, to direct a channel a mass desire which already exists and comes from the market. You alone cannot create a desire for the product, right? You alone cannot create a desire for the product. You can only channel hopes, dreams, fears, suspicions, failures. Again, you you alone cannot create a desire for the product. Okay, you need to understand this. You can only channel hope, dream, fears, suspicion, failures that already exist in the mind of your prospect. As a copywriter, your focus is sort of on the existing pain points and map those pain points to your product or service. As a copywriter, you can only exploit those pain points, right? It's really important to understand. As a copywriter, you can only exploit those pain points. You cannot create mass desire yourself. If you do this, you are going to run against it, and you will end up in sort of a deadlock. So this is sort of, very important to understand, that using this exercise of market research, what you are trying to do is you're identifying a mass desire, and you are trying to channel this mass desire into a product copy. Okay, so this is really important to understand from the very start. So, guys, the next question that you might be asking is, what is mass desire and where it comes from? So, as per Eugene Schwartz, mass desire is the public spread. Sorry, mass desire is the public spread of a private want. This is important to understand. As per Eugene Schwartz, mass desire is the public spread of a private want. When the private desire is shared by a statistically significant number of people, large enough to profitably create a business case, then market is born. Okay, by simply directing this huge already existing mass desire rather than being required to create it, content marketing thus commands an economic force hundreds of times more powerful than the number of dollars needed to create the content. You see, you understand this? So it is important. Mass desire is the public spread of a private want. When the private want or this private desire is shared by large number of people, is statistically significant, okay, then you have a profitable business case, and then market is born. And what Eugene Schwartz called it, content amplification effect of a successful content. So you can see the reason that $1 is spent on such content creation can create $150 or even $1,000 in sales. This is really content amplification effect. But this content amplification effect takes place only when your content exploits an already existing desire, and this is the key. And with education, you can create this desire. But the goal of the content marketing that sells and convert into paying customer is to exploit the mass desire, not create the mass desire. And you want to exploit that mass desire that already exists. Okay, that's the key. So, as a copywriter, if you wanted to exploit this mass desire, you have to really get into the dreams, desires, suspicion in order to exploit. So whole market research process is all about exploiting the mass desire that already exists. So content marketing should be put to exploit this mass desire and not create the mass desire. So you understand, you're going to really exploit this mass desire that already exists for its successful goal of making new sales and generating more revenue. So the key here is to understand what is mass desire, where it come from, and you're not creating a mass desire, but you are exploiting the mass desire, and that's called by Eugene Schwartz as an content amplification effect.